Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we'll continue with Nectar of Instruction, verse 4. No? We finished 3 verses, right?
Yes,
Association we have to start, Mataji.
You have to start 4.
4.
उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपतः मह्यं ददामि स्वपदान्तिकं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधे नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाशादिदेशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So nectar of instruction, the first verse was वाचो वेकं मनसो क्रोध वेकं जिह्वा वेकमुदरपस्त वेकम् एतान् वेकान्यो विशति वीरान् सर्वाम् अपि मां पृथिवीं सशिष्य. Okay, so we know the sober person who can control the urge of the mind, anger, tongue, genitals, belly. Right? They can create disciples all over the world. And then in the second and third verse, we saw which are the 6 things which will help us to grow in bhakti and which are the 6 things which destroys our bhakti. So atyahara prayasasya prajalpa niyamagraha jana sangasya laulyam cha shadvir bhakti vinashyati. So the 6 things now, there is overeating, over endeavoring, and associating with non-devotees, all that. So it will destroy our bhakti. But then what? Which will help? Which are the one which help us to grow in bhakti? Ulsaha nishya dairya tattat karma pravartana sangatyaga sadhuvritti shadvir bhakti prasiddhyati. Because so these were the things which will help us to grow in bhakti. We should have enthusiasm, utsaha, nishya, confidence, and patience. Tattat karma pravartana. We should always try to do that 9 devotional services, and then sangatyaga sadhuvritti. So give up the association of non-devotees, then associate with devotees. You know, when we do that, what happens? Shadvir bhakti prasiddhyati. 6 things which help us to grow in bhakti. Today we'll see 4, 5, 6, 7 the verses. So before that, before I forget, I want to share the nectar of devotion marks. So sloka marks and also the closed book, right? So closed book also. Yeah, this was the sloka marks. That's out of 10. Okay. And for this is out of 20, right? Yes, it's out of 20. There were 10 questions, right? 10. So
Yes,
more 2 marks each. 2 marks each. Okay. I hope all of you got the marks. And one sincere request is Nutan Mataji and also who is that? Please type your name in your initiated name, because when I upload the papers into Mayapur Institute, it should be your initiated name. Don't never use your Karmi name in your Bhakti Shastri. Also Achida Prabhu and I think someone else, they also wrote their Karmi name in the bracket. Snehavati, I think. No, someone. So don't do that. Take off your Karmi name, because it's what happens when we takes your attendance and all the marks and everything. There'll be 2 slots, and my admins are doing it, so they'll be confused who is who. Like Amit Prabhu and Achita Prabhu, like they think they are 2 different persons. So some devotees had problems like that attendance shortage. So, and then in Mayapur, this is mainly for what? This is mainly for Brahmanic initiation. Bhakti Shastri is mainly for that. So when you send your Brahmanic papers along with the Bhakti Shastri certificate, the certificate should be in your initiated name, first initiated name. If you don't have initiation, not taken initiation, no problem. But if you have taken initiation, please come only in initiated name. Your attendance, your uploading the answers, everything. Okay, so this is the sloka marks out of 10. Okay, now you can all see. So many of you did slokas well. Only thing is I was upset with the theory. Like some of them felt like they copied from the book. So we'll see. It all depends on how well you go with the Bhakti Shastri open book, because closed book is not much mark percentage, it's just 20%, but it's open book, it's just 60% of the marks. So it's very important. You do your open book nicely. Okay, so open book assessment, I think it's over now for nectar of instruction. We didn't finish open book, did we?
No, Mataji.
Oh, so I should give, I think this fourth sloka I can give, Tadadi Pradigrihati, because that is very important. Association, how to associate with devotees and all that. Tadadi Pradigrihati.
Mataji, one question can I ask?
Yes, Mother.
So the memorization you gave recording of 3 shlokas. We have to learn 4 shlokas or 3 shlokas?
4, because the third sloka is not taken. I didn't give the recording.
Okay, that's one
Today's
thing.
slokas. Today's.
And the question, Mataji, we were asked to prepare closed book short answers, but we got 3 questions from closed book questions. So for NOI, we have to prepare both, no? Closed book short answers, closed book questions. Only we don't prepare the essays.
Yes.
Okay. And the
Closed
analogy.
book short and analogies.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, so today's sloka is also to be memorized. That is the 6 types of
Mataji,
association.
Sorry, Hare Krishna. Closed book short and closed book along with analogies, or only closed book short and analogies, Mataji?
No, closed book short and what else?
There is closed book short, closed book questions, and there is analogies also.
All the closed book and analogies. Analogies are very important. Closed book short is actually recommended, and closed book along with that, the closed book also you have to just go through the what do you say? Not the essay type. Like in closed book also, if you have long questions, don't go through that. But the short questions, yes, you have to. Okay. Is it difficult?
No, Mataji, what happened?
You could do. Nectar of instruction is going to be easy.
Actually, the slokas of nectar of instruction is more easy to memorize compared to nectar of devotion, Mataji.
Okay. No, see, if you are regular Bhagavatam listener, or you're always in the Bhagavatam class and all, you can keep hearing devotees quoting these. So it's going to be easy if you listen like that. So you see, like if you can remember, that's good. But start now itself. Okay. Start remembering now itself. Okay, so the 6 types of association. Hare Krishna. So 6 types of association.
Mataji.
Yes.
Particularly nectar of instruction. Usually in Veda base, I used to get all the transcripts of Srila Prabhupada. But for NOI, I was unable to get any transcripts of Srila Prabhupada. Are there any, Mataji?
Of what?
You could say. Nectar of instruction lectures of Srila Prabhupada.
Nectar of instruction lectures.
Yes.
Yeah, not much. Let me see. Like I have been nectar of devotion. There's a lot of lectures, but then this he doesn't have. I have not seen nectar of instruction particular lectures by Srila Prabhupada. So let's. I'll search for it if you want. Let me see. I didn't see because nectar of devotion. Yes, 40 plus lectures are there actually. Prabhupada has given so many lectures.
But every lecture was not named properly, Mataji. It was.
No. Prabhupada never gave a verse as such, in the sense it was a general thing. Okay, it was a general thing. What happened is, it is mainly all were very new to Nectar of Devotion. So, and Prabhupada spoke that in front of Srila Rupa Goswami Samadhi, if you know the background. So, and Prabhupada spoke it in English. There were so many Brajavasis also who came to listen to Prabhupada, but then Prabhupada did speak in Hindi. Prabhupada said, this lecture is for my disciples. So it is, and it is not named Prabhu, like, which is what? No, it's not named like that. Okay. So might be in general, Prabhupada spoke Nectar of Devotion, not any verse as such, because Prabhupada didn't use much words there. As I told you, in Bhakti Shastri level, it's a Shastric study. So we have to study the slokas. But to his disciples, Prabhupada didn't tell them to study, to memorize the slokas. That's why Prabhupada in the synopsis, in the Nectar of Devotion book, you will never find any sloka. Prabhupada didn't want to scare them or don't. Prabhupada knows it's just for his practicing disciples, for the devotees. So Prabhupada kept it very simple. Okay. So now what we have to do is, whatever we have, the resources, use that. And actually, Nectar of instruction, you need not have any lectures to be heard, because everything Prabhupada spoke in the purport itself, in the purport. And why it's not of lectures is, the lecture is basically for new people. Prabhupada's lecture, if you see, is a basic lecture for everyone. Okay, you see every lecture, most of the lectures Prabhupada speaks, we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Prabhupada speaks the basic things. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, every basic thing. Because in a lecture, when you speak, if you include so much philosophy, the common people will run away. Like, Prabhupada's aim was to bring many, many souls to Krishna consciousness. Yes, Vidya Mataji, you can also write the initiation name, no problem. Only thing is, I should be aware who is who. So you keep coming in the class and your initiated name, then I'll understand, okay, this person is this. So that next time attendance and everything we can club. Okay. Yeah. So we'll go to Nectar of Insta. And so one Mataji said, when you hear Prabhupada's lecture, it will be basic things, because it's not for the devotees, it's for general mass of people. And for them, we can't speak Nectar of Devotion instructions and all that. It's a basic thing Prabhupada spoke. But in his book, he wrote everything there. What he cannot speak in a public, that also he wrote in the books, because especially these books, NOI, and Ishoparishad, it's for devotees only. You don't take these books for big book distribution when you go for Harinam Sankirtan and all that. Because people, first of all, doesn't understand devotion, what is devotion or bhakti, who's Krishna. So that's why we basically sell Bhagavad Gita and Krishna book and things like that initially. These books are for little advancing devotees, advanced. So Prabhupada didn't give a lecture as such. Prabhupada gave everything in the book. That's why you have big purport special of Prabhupada. So this sloka, like Nectar of instruction verse 4 also should be memorized. It says the 6 aspects of association with devotees. That is Dadadi, Pratikritnadi, Ukhyam Akyadi Prichati, Punkte Bhojade Chaiva, Shadvita Priti Lakshana. So Dadadi Pratikritnadi, you can accept gifts or a charity or give charity. Then Guhyam Akyadi Prichati, you can reveal your mind in confidence. Like, oh, Mataji, I have this is problem. Oh, Prabhu, I have this. So you can reveal your mind to a devotee and inquire confidentially. Like, Prabhu, you never miss Mangalarti. So what is the secret of doing that? Or just inquiring how their devotional services, things like that. Dadadi Pritnadi, Guhyam Akyadi Prichati, Bhunkte Bhoje, accept prasadam and offer prasadam. These are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. So this is what is association. Shadvita Preeti Lakshana. This is real association. So association means you can give gifts to devotees, you can accept gifts, you can give prasadam to them, accept prasadam, and you can reveal your mind in confidence and inquire from them confidentially. So out of all these 6, this is the most important thing. Revealing your mind confidentially. So what happens? It's better when a Mataji reveals her mind to another Mataji or Prabhuji to another Prabhuji. Okay? Yes, Sri Lalita Mataji. Yeah, so congrats on your initiation. So she's so fortunate to get initiated in the Mayapur Dham by Arvind Maharaj. Very well, Mataji. Kartik month, right?
So yes, Mataji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much, Mataji. All glories to you and all the devotees of Mangalore and Prabhupada. They're very merciful. Now I can
Yeah.
really see the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and the Dham and our Guru Maharaj. Thank you,
Correct.
Mataji. Thank you so much for all your help and mentoring me and guiding me. Mataji, I wanted to ask that when we say that revealing one's mind in confidence, sometimes within devotee community also we have problem with some devotees. So how do we see it? Because we can also make offense, no, if we talk
Yeah.
about some other devotees. So how should we see it, and we should be careful, or how should we reveal our mind in such case?
So normally it is said there was some problem with some person. So what that person did is she didn't directly go and speak to that Mataji. She came through us. Like you can go through their Shiksha Gurus, or you can go through the senior Vaishnavas, or whoever it is, Vaishnavis. It's better Matajis reveal the mind to a Mataji and Prabhujis to Prabhuji, because there are some common factors which you cannot open and say to a Prabhu or to a Mataji. So it's better. And then in your temple or center or whichever association you have, online or offline, whichever senior devotees is there, you can, or a Mataji or a Grihastha couple or a Brahmachari, like whatever the problem is with that particular person, you can go and talk to the senior devotees instead of directly go. And the senior devotee can go and talk to that person so that you avoid such conflicts. And also, you should take advice from senior Vaishnavas, like, is this right, or this is what is happening, so what should we do, or this is the problem. So they will guide you, like they will see, like in they deal it in such a way that nobody gets hurt, and they try to correct that devotee, whoever is. So definitely it says that the diamond, it has to undergo so much. It is charcoal, right? The charcoal has to undergo so much pressure, then only it becomes the shining diamond. So similarly, we are all like charcoal, black and with a lot of anarthas. So anarthas will come out. That doesn't mean you should stop chanting or things like that. You should keep doing again and again and again. The anarthas are just going away from you, and you have to keep doing it, so that keep doing the devotional service, so that all the anarthas go away, and finally we also become like pure. So anarthas will be there in everyone. So most of the time we tolerate and move on or cooperate. But when things go wrong somewhere here and there, then you go and talk to senior Vaishnavas or Vaishnavis and take guidance from them, and they can go and solve the things. So just I was coming through a quote. It says, silence is the best answer to all the questions. Like if we talk and then make it become some, so just keep quiet, and then the things will settle down on its own. But we can actually go to the authorities and speak one thing, because we might take the wrong decision, or we may not be so mature to handle things. So better always go. Senior means somebody age wise, also in the movement, like how many years they've been in the movement.
Okay, Mataji. Mataji, regarding this senior thing, also one more question. That a few days back only, one of the Mataji was sharing with me. She lives in Vrindavan, and she was sharing with me that people might be in the movement for many years, but they're still neophyte.
Yeah.
So how will we know that what level the devotee is, so that we can reveal ourselves and we get the right guidance?
You should listen to that devotee for a long time, because yes, it depends on the years, not just the years. It means year, EAR, not YEAR. It says that
Yes.
how much they have heard about Krishna, how much they have realized or read about Shastras. Because somebody might be like 2 years in the movement, but already know so many things, because definitely for coming from previous life, or just they're continuing from previous life. Somebody will be 20, 30 years in the movement. So Guru Maharaj was saying, I'm just listening to His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. He says that most of them, they think just chanting is enough. No need to study the scriptures or anything. So that is a drawback in our society, where people think in Krishna conscious society, they think just chanting is enough. Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, and the Shastras are nothing. But no, Guru Maharaj says the Shastras will make you have faith in the Harina more and more. So the Shastras has to be studied. We have these courses for that. So just see how much they have read Prabhupada's book. When they speak, it says the fool can be identified when they open their mouth and speak. Like, so somebody who speaks and they don't know any philosophy or anything, if they're not applying, then don't go to them. But if you think that, oh, this person has some realization and they know the philosophy, then you go and speak to that person. So yes, it doesn't depend on how many years you are in the movement. It really depends on how much they have heard about Krishna and they have done service. So that for that you should take time. It's not like you meet a person today and they have nice kanti and tilak and you think, oh, they're a great Vaishnava or Vaishnavi. No. So many fake things are happening nowadays in this material world. So people will cheat, that everything happens everywhere. So we should study that person for us for some time, understand that yes, this person can have confidence in that person, that yes, this person can solve my problem, then only speak. Otherwise, it's better to keep quiet and see better. It's always your Shiksha Guru. It says that you can always, because you know that Shiksha Guru for a long time. And then, so it's better, or you have a mentor. If you have a mentor, it's always nice in a neophyte stage, you have a mentor and talk to that mentor. Like I still remember my first 3-4 years of Krishna consciousness, I had a mentor who was very, very excellent. And Mataji was there. She's a doctor and she had 3 kids, and all 3 kids are like scholars in Bhagavatam, and they've been homeschooled. They've not gone to any Karmi school. And Mataji was very, very nice. Like the way she could, she spent a lot of time to talk to me and understand my problems and guide me and gave a lot of, so you should have a mentor. And once, like a baby bird, she trained me, and once I fly, she just left. Like in the sense, the association has come down because she's training some other devotees now. I still miss her association, but then Mataji's like, no, you should become mentor now for others. I like, no, I still need your mentorship. So we are in touch, but still, initial days, you need a mentor who can guide you in all the ways. So you can talk to that mentor who actually knows your personal life as well as your spiritual life. That would be better, Mataji, instead of, because you should be very careful to reveal your mind in confidence. Don't reveal to someone who you don't trust or who's very new. You don't know that person for a long time. You personally should know that person and understand how much realization they have. And you should have confidence that, yes, this person can solve my problem. Okay.
Thank you,
It is said
Mataji.
that 50% of the people are happy that you have problem, and another 50% of people cannot help you with your problem. So we should find that person. Krishna will send if we have that sincere desire. Krishna he knows everything about us. Not only this life, previous life also Krishna knows. So he will send somebody, like how he sent Guru to us. It's not it's as Mataji said, oh, it's because of us. No, it's not because of us. Since you are sincere, and all of you were initiated, you are sincere, you're doing your devotional service in a sincere way. So Krishna as Chaitya Guru in a heart knows you than us. No, we can't measure the devotional quality in anybody. Bhakti cannot be measured with any scale. Only Krishna knows how much bhakti each one of you have. So when the soul is sincerely doing, the super soul as Paramatma, as Chaitya Guru, will send the Guru, the Diksha Guru. So it's like a soul-to-soul connection. It's from previous life, the soul. So the Guru, we don't choose the Guru, or we are not, nobody can speed up the initiation process, or nobody can stop the initiation process. It happens automatically with the Guru's blessing. So it's because it's Krishna who's actually doing that. So when the soul is sincere, then Krishna, the Chaitya Guru, sends the Diksha Guru to you. So we cannot reveal everything to the Diksha Guru, but then we have Shiksha Gurus, so many Shiksha Gurus who you can trust, and who can, like Grihasthas can always go to a Grihastha, or Brahmacharis can go talk to the Brahmacharis. That's better, because problems are different in different life, in different ashrama. Okay, so when you associate with devotees, when you do association with devotees, there are 6 kinds of activities. One is giving charity or gift to the devotees, accepting gift from the devotees, and opening your mind, one's mind to the devotee. It might be your personal problems, whatever you have, like Mataji, this is problems there in my life, this is like a blocker in my life, like how do I manage it? Things like that. And you can ask them, they will give you some solution. And inquire from them about the confidential service of the Lord, like how do I do this, or Prabhu, how, then they give you some guidance. And honoring prasadam or spiritual food given by the devotees, feeding the devotees with prasadam. This is the best remedy to avoid for Vaishnava aparadha. If you have done Vaishnava aparadha, better to feed all the devotees with prasadam, it is said. Any pastime you remember? Feeding prasadam to the devotees.
Swami Mataji.
Did for whom?
For Vaishnava, when he was in deep meditation on Radha Krishna Leela, he smiled a bit. At the same time, Vaishnava who was passing through that way. I hope his leg got hurt due to something. So at that time when he saw Rup Goswami smiling, he got offended. So suddenly the Leela stopped and while Rupa Goswami was meditating, the Leela suddenly got stopped. When Rupa Goswami went and inquired to Sanatan Goswami, he told that you have committed a Vaishnava aparadh, so you have to feed all with samtas prasadam. The one who did not come will be the one whom you had offended. So as planned, literally many came except that one Vaishnava. So Rupa Goswami went and fell on his feet, Mataji.
Yes. So this was one instance. There was another instance when the Pandavas actually some kind of offense happened to a Vaishnava, and Krishna said you have to feed all the Vaishnavas. And so then only the conch shell will blow. But then again they did that, and so once the prasadam was given, the offense was taken care. And when Advaita Acharya did his father's Shraddha ceremony, whom did he feed first? Does anyone know? He gave that prasadam to Haridas Thakur. And everybody was like, Haridas Thakur, how can you give prasadam to him first? And Advaita Acharya said, feeding Haridas Thakur is like feeding 10 millions of brahmanas. Because Haridas Thakur is a pure Vaishnava, is a pure devotee of Krishna. So he said that just by feeding Haridas Thakur and everyone gets it's like feeding that brahmanas. Yes, Mataji?
Mataji, shall we feed the Vaishnavas whom we did aparadh against, or any Vaishnava?
Yeah, it is said that person also should be fed. That's why Prabhu was saying, no, like when Rupa Goswami, when Sanatana Goswami said, you have to call everyone, that Vaishnava didn't come. So if we have offended somebody, that person will not come. And another thing is we can take dust from the lotus feet of the devotees if we have offended, but sometimes they may not come. And it said, if you ask forgiveness from the devotee and still the devotee doesn't forgive, then the aparadh is on that devotee, because asking forgiveness and not forgiving again becomes aparadh. So yes, it is said feeding all the Vaishnavas, and even that person, if he doesn't come or she doesn't come, still we can feed the Vaishnavas with the prasad. That's why they have this home program where they have Sankirtan and Katha, and they have prasadam distribution also, because feeding the Vaishnavas is a great, great devotional service. It seems devotees are more merciful than the Lord, and to advance in devotional service, we need the mercy of the devotees, because only then can we advance. Okay. So Prabhupada says here, an experienced devotee can explain, an inexperienced devotee can learn from him. This is Guhya Makyadi Prichati. This very, very important part in our life, because if we think we can hide our problems and things and then still advance in Krishna consciousness, it's going to be a little difficult for us, tough for us, because we don't know what decision to take, what to do with that. So, but then if there's someone to guide us in our spiritual journey, because that person also would have gone through same type of things, or better to guide you in that way. So here it said, when a devotee distributes prasadam, there is remnants of Krishna. What happens? We should accept it. And not only that, even you can give prasadam to non-devotees also. That's why we have this food for life things and all that. And during this pandemic also, so many ISKCON centers distribute prasadam. And so ISKCON is famous for prasadam also. So you have to give prasadam. So it's better, you can give even dry fruits or anything, fruits also offered to the Lord, then whichever workplace you are in. So slowly they're also taking the prasadam, but take away the tulsi, and then just don't tell them it's prasadam, just offer them dry fruits or anything, and then what you make, and then you give them like sweets and all. So it's said we have to invite devotees to our home, especially pure devotees, and offer prasadam, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhakti Bhojante Chaiva. Sometimes when great sannyasis or Maharaj, they travel, and sometimes if you're fortunate, they come to your house or they come and stay somewhere. So it's great opportunity for Vapu Seva. There is Vapu and Mani. So Vapu Seva, the physical service we can do. If we can't, at least when they come to the temple and all, try to associate with them, we get the mercy. So these 6 types of dealings, it should be done with devotees. Okay. So that's very important. Even in this, Prabhupada says in material life, they do that. So sometimes the boss invites the colleagues invite the boss. for dinner, like that, no? Just to have a good relationship. So Rupa Goswami says that one should renounce worldly association, keep company of devotees. That is Sangha Tyaga Sadoviti. That's why this International Society of Krishna Consciousness, Prabhupada says, this kind of loving exchange between the devotees should be there. Okay, initially, it was single-handed because Prabhupada was alone. Slowly, many people came to help Prabhupada. And then, yes, prasadam also. Like in village areas, philosophy will not work. So they give prasadam to them and also harinam. Okay, so there'll be harinam and they will eat prasadam and also they'll sing and chant Hare Krishna or Kirtan happens. That's the best way to bring someone to Krishna consciousness. They get attracted. So Prabhupada says, they come and take whatever little prasadam we are able to offer them. Sometimes just it will be some khichdi or whatever it is. Anything can be off. That prasadam can be given to them. And that's the best way to do association. Okay. And so association is very important. The 5 things, there is something called Panchanga Bhakti. What are the 5 things which Rupa Goswami says you should do? Panchanga Bhakti. Yes. We finished Nectar of Devotion, right? This is from Nectar of Devotion. Pancha Anga.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana. Bhagavad Shravana. Yes.
Dhamvas.
Yeah, Dhamvas.
Worshipping deities.
Srimurtira Shraddhaya Sevana. So these are the 5 things which Rupa Goswami says we should all do. It's called the most important limbs of Bhakti. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana. Madhuravas Srimurtira Shraddhaya Sevana. Sadhu Sangha associating with devotees. Then Nama Kirtana, chanting the holy name. Bhagavad Shravana, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. The Madhuravas, staying in Dham. And Srimurtira Shraddhaya Sevana, deity worship. These 5 things should be done every day. That's why this morning program also has these 5 things. So when we do these 5 things, association of devotees comes first. It's not, the sloka is not Nama Kirtana Bhava Shravana. It is Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhava Shravana. So Sadhu Sangha, that comes first. That means association of devotees. If we don't associate with devotees, then what happens? Our advancement in Krishna consciousness become very slow. Very slow. We will not realize, but it is going to be very slow. But if we associate with devotees, then it's a rapid progress can happen. And association doesn't mean just living close to a devotee, actually talking to them and getting inspiring from them. Read, some devotees they meet, they discuss what they read that day, Prabhupada's book, or what they listened, any lectures or any pastimes of Krishna. They discuss that when they associate. But chitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam padayandashamam nityam tushyanticha ramanticha, not prajalpa, but they speak about Krishna. So the association is very important. Okay, how we associate. And Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastri Hoy, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi. So that Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha is also, and in Bhagavad Gita also says Sangha Sanjayata Kama. So that everything is according to the company one keeps, the desires and everything. Because like today, there was nobody to make garlands for the deities. So I was thinking it's Sunday, what to do, but I badly wanted to make something. So I started, it's okay, let it be alone. I started. Then when I started, I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3 garlands. And then I was just like, oh, Krishna, I cannot do it because I have class, I have to go. I just finished my service. Now what to do? I don't know, from somewhere, Krishna sent so many Matajis, and it was like 5, 6 of them around me. And I just gave them, like, I just showed them how to do it. And I just came away. And I was like, see, Krishna is, because Krishna wanted the garland, Krishna is sending people to make garlands. And so this is just a small example what happened just now. So that desire was there in me, and I was like, got the nice company of some Matajis, and they started doing it. So maybe Krishna wanted them to do that service, or Krishna wanted them to be included in the service. So and once they start coming, and every day they'll start like, Mataji, can I do? Can we do? Can we come? And then like, okay, yeah, because that's a very easy service also. And it's like you feel happy when you see the Lordships with the garlands which you made. It's not we, Radharani makes it, we just become the instrument. But that desire should be there. If you have that desire, and you should have that company of such people. A devotee will say that, okay, today I'm going to hear this lecture, or I'm going to read this book. So you feel happy. You also feel like inspired. Yes, let me also do something like that. But when you associate non-devotees, what will the non-devotee do? The non-devotee, oh, this Sunday, no, we'll go to the beach, we'll go to the mall, we'll go there. And then we'll be like, yeah, that's correct. Like one Sunday we get, and what am I doing in the temple? So let's go. And then it'll go on like the material life. So we should know, and that's Prabhupada says here, man is known by the company he keeps. So association is very, very important. You associate with a drunkard, you automatically become a drunkard. You associate with devotees, you automatically become a devotee. Because devotees, like, I think I've shared this example. Anybody knows the example of a local train? There's a local train. All of you went in a local train. So much of rush, right? Everyone went, right? Can you raise your digital hand? Who all went
Yes,
in a local
Mataji.
train? Local train, Mumbai or Chennai or whatever, big cities. Okay, it's like so crowded that the boys and all will be hanging outside the train. So it will be a very small, not so big trains, but small trains, and it stops in every local station. Like when you go for work, yeah, even Nityanga knows. So it's going to be very much rush. No, so when I entered the local train, I couldn't even have a place to hold. I was just standing like that in between two Matajis. I thought, okay, let me fall also. Because where to hold this so much of rush. So when that local train reaches any station, you don't have to get down. People will push you from behind, and you just automatically gets down in your station. You just have to go stand near the door. There's no door also. Sometimes the local train is just open, and then there's so many things hanging you can catch. And then when the station, when you have to enter also, there'll be people behind you who push you inside and you enter. Sometimes we get down in the wrong station sometimes because of the push. So it says, even if you don't want to do devotional service or don't do anything, when the devotees are around you, they push you. So it's like that. So the association is very, very important. Nityanga Mataji has to add something. Okay. So
No, Mataji.
Okay. So Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhika Bhanaya Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karayodhaya Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema. The Krishna Prema cannot be got just like that. Then Sadhika Bhanaya Shravanadi Shuddha, you have to hear, and the Shuddha Chitta heart should become purified. So pure love of Krishna is eternally established in the heart of the living entity. It is not something that's gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, the living entity naturally awakens the consciousness. Okay, so this is what we have, like everyday Bhagavatam class, everyday Bhagavad Gita hearing, all that is happening so that it purifies our heart and our consciousness awakens. That is Krishna consciousness. So everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Prabhupada says that's why we should have temple. Otherwise, where will they come and hear about Krishna? So simply by hearing and chanting, that Shravanam Kirtanam, one's heart is directly purified. Okay, so this Bhaktilata beej is compared to a seed by the plant by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that seed is sown in the heart of the devotee. The devotee is the gardener, right? So where is this association? It is compared to what association? This Bhaktilata beej grows. It's like a seed, tender plant in the heart of a devotee, and we water it. What is the watering to the Bhaktilata beej compared to? Nobody knows? This
Mataji,
Mataji?
association? Is it association?
Watering is not association.
Uh,
What should we do so that every day our bhakti grows?
Chanting or
So that is Shravanam and Kirtanam. Nobody knows this analogy. This comes in Bhagavad Gita somewhere. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Krapai Pai Bhakti Lata Beej. So Bhakti Lata is compared to a bija, in the sense a seed. So Bhakti Lata, it's a creeper. It's not just a strong plant or something. It's just a creeper, very soft. So it's the very fortunate soul, with the help of Guru and Krishna, gets that seed of Bhakti. And we are the gardener. So where do you sow the seed? In the heart. So you cleanse your heart and then dig your heart and then give that Bhakti Lata beej. In the sense, you implant your Bhakti. And then every day you have to water the Bhakti. That is compared to the Shravanam and Kirtanam. That is sunlight and watering is compared to Shravanam and Kirtanam. So every day there should be sunlight. Every day there should be water. Not like one day you pour one bucket of water and for 10 days you don't water the plant. What happens to the plant? It dries away. Similarly, one day, that Sunday, you do a lot of services in the temple, read and scriptures and chant. The next 1 week, you don't do any devotional service, then Bhaktilata beach will not grow properly. So Mahaprabhu says, when you do the Shravanam and Kirtanam, and then properly water the Bhaktilata beach, it will grow, pierce the material universe, go to the Goloka Vrindavan and take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. And from there will be flowers and fruits. The flowers and fruits are compared to what? Of the Bhaktilata beach? That's the goal. What is the goal of Bhakti? Why are
Prema.
we Bhakti? Krishna Prema. To get Krishna Prema, the ultimate goal is the fruit and flowers are the Krishna Prema. And when we do that Bhakti, there should be a fence around. Otherwise, if you don't try, when you are a gardener, you don't have nice rose plant or some creepers growing, very soft, tender. And then if you don't put a fence, so many animals will come and eat the Bhaktilata beach. So what is this fence?
Association.
Association. So association is the fence which will help our Bhaktilata beach to grow nicely so that we can advance and we are protected from all kind of dangers. Okay. And when the Bhaktilata beach grows, there'll be so many weeds. You see in Tulsi plant or anywhere, there'll be a lot of weeds. And whatever water you put, the weeds are growing, the Tulsi plant doesn't get much water. So you have to pluck away the weeds. So what is the weeds compared to? Yes, Mataji?
Non-devotee association.
Huh?
Our anarthas?
No.
Offenses?
Offenses, no.
Non-devotee association, Mataji.
Non-devotee association, okay.
Vaishnava Aparadha.
Aparadha is not weeds. Vaishnava Aparadha is like Hathi Mata, it's a mad elephant. So if there is a mad elephant in your garden, okay, what happens? Mad elephant will come and break the fence and go inside and smash your Bhaktilata beach. So that's Vaishnava Aparadha. We should be very careful not to do Vaishnava Aparadha so that the mad elephant doesn't come and destroy your Bhaktilata beach. So the weeds are, there are 6 weeds. One is Jiva Himsa. Jiva Himsa means causing pain to other living entities or killing animals, all that comes. And Jiva Himsa, Nishita Achar, not following the 4 regulative principles. If you don't follow the 4 regulative principles, your Bhaktilata beach will dry. Then Kutinati or duplicity. Like in temple, we are like Hare Krishna, but home, we are different person. No, that should not happen. Then Mana, Puja and Pratishtha, that comes together. That means I should be honored. Oh, I am a senior devotee, I'm initiated. So others should respect me or something like that. That feeling, that Mana, Puja, Pratishtha. These are all beats in devotional services. Yes, Neha, Mataji.
Mataji, so like in Jiva Hansa, Hinsa, sorry. So we like at home we do pest control at times, right? So does that also count in Jiva
Yeah,
Hatya?
devotees
Because
don't do that.
because sometimes it becomes very inevitable. Like for example, like there was this bandicoot that chewed away my car pipes, like the fuel pipe, all that major ones were broken. So the car was not working at all. So then we had to do something to like shoo the bandicoot away. But like, what is it that we can do in such a sort of situation?
Yeah, might be like we can. Normally we have to try to control, do some other situations, like in the sense mosquitoes you use or the cream or mosquito repellents or our net or mosquito net or something like that, they say. But yes, sometimes what happens if there are like when you sweep the floor or in the altar, there will be a lot of ants and sometimes they all die. See, when you do devotional service, that is of cleansing the Krishna's temple and altar, and sometimes such small animals are killed. So we have to let it go because sometimes during service it happens. We're not doing it purposely. But here, yes, in pest control and things like that, sometimes we pray to Krishna that Krishna, this is the situation now, what should I do? And then, it says like purposely we should not harm them or kill them. But sometimes the 6 aggressors said in Bhagavad Gita, which says that somebody comes to attack you, gives poison and all that. So if their cobra comes, will we just stay like that? Because Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati once, there was a big snake and the brahmacharis were like, snake, what to do? And then Prabhupada was waiting for Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's reply and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said, kill that snake. He's been a sadhu, he's been a guru, and still he says, why? Because if we allow that snake to go, the snake can take the life of the brahmacharis or devotees. And that's not allowed. I mean, that's not how we should be. So we should, so he said to kill the snake. So if any animals is dangerous to us, causing harm, it says about the 6 aggressors, because that snake is a poison giver. He's going to give poison and take the life of the devotees. So then he said to kill. So such situations, yes, Mataji, like sometimes we can do, but then we pray that no offense happens. Okay. So in Mahaprabhu also says about Cheto Darpana Marjanam, that is, he says we have to cleanse our heart during, along with the chanting of the holy name. And this Mahamantra purifies us. Okay. So the Dadi Pratignatnadi, Gukhya Makyadi Prichadi, Bhunkte Boje Deva Shadvida Priti Rakshanam. So these are the 6 things which help us to associate, or which help us to go forward in devotional services. Okay. So these are the first four slokas, very, very important slokas. Rest of the slokas we can just quickly read and go, because in exam point of view, the 4 slokas are very important and need explanations. The rest of the slokas, okay, you read through the purports, but you don't have to memorize the slokas. Okay. Krishnedi yasya giritam manasandriyeta dikshashti ched pradadipischa vajantamisham shrushrushaya bhajana vinyam ananyam nanya Ninda Dishunya Hridam Ipsida Sangalabhya Labhya. So it is said one should mentally honor. Okay, this is how you respect 3 kinds of devotees. One is you have to mentally honor the devotees who chant the holy name, and you should offer obeisance to devotees who have undergone spiritual initiation or diksha and is engaged in the worship of the deity. And one should associate and faithfully serve the pure devotee who is advanced in devotional services. Okay, and whose heart is completely devoid of propensity to criticize others. So how are these 3 things divided?
Mataji, Kanishta, Madhyam and
Ah,
Uttam.
yes, Kanishta, Madhyam. Who is this who chant, mentally honor somebody who's chanting? Who's this? Which kind of
Neophyte.
devotees?
Kanishta.
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 So it's Kanishta Adhikaris, like somebody who just comes to temple and chant Hare Krishna once, or just there, and some days comes, not regularly. So they are at least mentally we should honor them. Yes, they're coming to Krishna. They're Sukritis. Chaturvarnyamaya Srishtam. No. What is Chaturvita Vajandemam? Jana Sukritin or Jana. Artho Jnani Jitnya. So all that is different. They would have come for money. They would have come for any problems in life. It's okay, but they're Sukritis. So mentally honor them. Yes, they're coming to temple and we should be happy they are coming. And should offer obeisances to the devotees who have undergone spiritual initiation or diksha. You see somebody who's initiated, you know that person is initiated, you are paying obeisances. So this is which category of devotees?
Madhyama.
Madhyamadhikaris. So we have to pay obeisances to the devotees who have taken spiritual initiation. They are Madhyamadhikaris. We have to pay obeisances to them. And engaging in the worshipping of the deity. That means altar service. And one should associate with and faithfully serve pure devotees. The pure devotees are the
Uttamadhikari.
Uttamadhikaris. So Uttamadhikaris, one should serve and associate, means they are our Diksha Gurus and Shiksha Gurus, like Diksha Gurus basically, pure devotees, and we have to serve them. That Vidhi Pranipadana Pariprashnana Sevaya. The service should come from of the pure devotees. Okay, so this is the 3 ways of respecting the 3 types of devotees, Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttamadhikari. Okay, yes, Sri Lalita Mataji.
Mataji, when we were talking about association, that it's very important. Should we take association of Madhyam and Uttamadhikaris? Who should we take association of?
Yeah, we should take from Madhyama and Uttama, not from Kanishta. Kanishta, we have to give association. Madhyama and Uttama, we should take association. Yes.
Okay, Mataji.
Because Kanishta, like, they need help. Like, and so you have to give association to Kanishtas because they are new to devotional services. So we can tell them to chant, we can give them services and prasadam, then we should take care of them so that they grow. And so that means somebody who's below than us, in the sense, everybody is equal, but whoever came new to Krishna consciousness, you have to help them. So whoever is below, we help. Whoever is of same category like us, like we all came in devotional service at the same time, or we are, something like that, then you make friendship with them. And those who are Uttama, those who are advanced than us, we try to take guidance from them in the sense. So the three type of devotees, it is Rupa Goswami says the appropriate way according to the particular status. How do you associate with such devotees? So Kanishta is a neophyte, yes, who have received the Harinam. It is said they have received Harinam initiation. Why? Here it is said this first initiation, that is okay, because and they are trying to chant the holy name. The Kanishta Adhikaris, because see, we can't say that we are Madhyama Adhikaris or something like that. We might be still in the Kanishta stage because Madhyama Adhikari is someone who have having so much transcendental loving service to the Lord. We may not have reached that stage. We would have taken initiation. We are getting trained, but then still we may not be into that stage. So Kanishta Adhikari can be somebody who have taken first initiation, and such person we should respect in the mind. But yes, they also come under Madhyama Adhikari category, because here also it is said they have received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master. And they are completely engaged, fully engaged in devotional service of the Lord. So Madhyama Adhikari can be the midway devotional service. And Uttama Adhikari is the highest. Okay. So I hope you already know in the Nectar of Devotion, we learned about the three categories of devotees. Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. Okay. And Uttama Adhikaris are called Mahabhagavata or perfect Vaishnava. So it is said we should not remain in Kanishta, should come to, because Kanishta Adhikari, this is the definition. Acharyameva Hari Pujam Yashataye Hade Natat Bhakteshu Cha Neshu Sabhakta Prakrita Smritaha. Acharyam Eva Hari. They just worship Krishna. They don't even know that devotees are Vaishnavas or we should respect them. No, they just Krishna, Krishna, only the deity. They see Krishna. Krishna means his associates also. Krishna means Krishna and his devotees. But they don't bother all that. They just see, okay, Krishna, and they try to offend the devotees. So they are Kanishta Adhikari. So here it said, person is faithfully engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple, but who does not know how to behave towards devotees or people in general, this Prakrita Bhakta of Kanishta Adhikaris. And Madhyama, Ishvara Tatta Dineshu, Balisheshu, the Suja, Prema, Maitri Kripa, Upaksha, Yetka, Rudisa Madhyama. So somebody who is doing Prema to Ishvara, okay? So Ishvara is Krishna, so he loves Krishna, he does Prema to Krishna. And Tat Adineshu, to his devotees, he do Maitri. Maitri is friendship. Okay, so they love Krishna or love God, and they do Maitri or friendship with devotees. And Balisheshu, somebody who's very new to Krishna consciousness, they show Kripa or mercy. And this is Sucha. Kripa Upeksha. Upeksha means somebody who's jealous or somebody who's atheistic people, no, envious, then they do Upeksha. They leave them or they don't associate. This is Madhyama Adhikari. So Madhyama Adhikari is somebody who worship God, Krishna, as object of love, make friendship with devotees, is merciful to the ignorant, and avoids those who are envious. And pure devotee, someone who is, so you can read through all this. And here it is said, a pure devotee. Deshakale bhakta kare atma samarpana, sehi kala Krishna tare kare atma sama. No, that is, yeah, somebody who is completely surrendered. Because at that time of initiation, a devotee fully surrenders to the service of the Lord and Krishna and accept him as good as himself. So Diksha is described as this way. Divya jnanam yado datya deyatra papasya sanshayam tasmad dikshe disa prokta desikais tattva povita. By Diksha, one gradually become disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually become interested in spiritual life. Like somebody who's not serious will not take any decision, right? Only if you're serious, yes, this is my life or this is what I want in life. And then you, because there'll be so many challenges. Each one's life is different because it's based on our previous karma. So, but then every one of us have problems in order to take Diksha. But still you have the desire and still you go for it. That is what your determination is. That is what Krishna sees. Like, or if you think that, oh, next life I can take initiation, not in this life. Then Krishna also will say, okay, next life you come to me, not this life. But then no, if we know things are not right in my place, there is no proper prasadam in my house, my parents are not devotees, or my husband is not a devotee, or wife is not a devotee. Many problems in my life, like I don't know how will I take initiation. Problems will be there, but Krishna can change the life in a moment, in a minute. We might feel it's impossible, but that sincere desire should be there. Tatra laulyam api mula kevalam thoda janma sukrutana labhyate. The problems in my life will be so much, or I might be in a situation where I cannot take initiation, and we think that, oh, this life is not possible. But if you have that sincere desire, Krishna is in your heart as Paramatma, Krishna will mold your life in such a way that you go to him or you take initiation. But that desire should be there. It should not, that fire of that desire should be there more and more. Krishna, I want to do this. I don't know how my life is going to go, but then you decide. I want you. Like some that desire should come in front of us. It says that we should pray in front of the Lord that Krishna, I so many janmas I forgot you. But this janma, by Prabhupada's mercy, by Guru Maharaj's mercy, I am able to remember you. I am here now, and doing your Harinam and all that. So I don't want to miss this chance, or I don't want to forget you anymore. So let me, please accept me. I know I don't deserve it. I'm not qualified, but please accept. So that should be our mode, it seems. Like we should feel bad that we forgot Krishna and we have fallen into this material world. But see, so we should become disinterested in material life, and that's possible by the association of devotees. Okay. So Prabhupada says here, many people come, and they leave all this material life, and they're not interested in material enjoyment, and they become fit for initiation by the spiritual master. Okay. When one becomes disinterested in material enjoyment, material life, then your spiritual life actually starts. Because for the advancement of spiritual life, we should go and take initiation or association with devotees. Because without accepting Diksha, it is said one cannot go back to Godhead. Somebody asked me, Mataji, without Diksha, can I go alone? Going alone is very, very difficult. Very difficult. Might take a lot of janmas. But when you have a guru will take you. As Prabhupada said, just clinch on my dhoti. I'll take you at least from the back door of Goloka. He says that. So it said that tat vijnanartam sa guru eva apikache. When you become interested in spiritual life, then you need to be initiated. In the sense, if you think that I don't want a guru, I can do it alone. There's someone called Kripa Siddhas. Just by the mercy of Krishna, we can go back to Godhead. But that takes a lot of time. And the sadhana siddhas also takes a lot of time. But if we have a guru, tasmal guru pravattetam jnasam shreyam uttamam. Like when is actually interested in transcendental subject matter, we should approach a spiritual master. So in fact, those who are not initiated also, you're actually following Prabhupada. You're all taken a shelter of Prabhupada. You're taken Prabhupada Ashraya. May not be a ceremony as such nowadays, but in other temples, they make it as a ceremony. That you may be chanting only one round, that's okay. But you take Prabhupada Ashraya. So all of us who are not initiated also, your preeminent Shiksha Guru becomes Prabhupada, because you're following his books. So you are directly or indirectly, you're actually connected to the movement through Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada accepts you. And then Diksha Guru, that is secondary. But then first is Prabhupada. And is saying that one should not accept a spiritual master without following his instruction. So you're accepting the instructions of Prabhupada. Okay. So that is the 5th sloka, which says about how we should treat each devotee. Like the Kanishta Adhikari should be mentally honored. Madhyama Adhikari who have taken initiation should be paid obeisances. And Uttama Adhikari we should associate and serve them. The service comes to Uttama Adhikari. Okay. Anybody likes to add anything? Okay. Drishtei swabhava janiteir vapusasya doshe na prakritatvam iha bhakta janasya pashe gangam vasam nakalo buddhudatvena pankir brahma dvaratvam apagachadi nira dharme. So what is he saying here? That being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee having a body born in a lower family or a body with a bad complexion. Okay, so low family, bad complexion, deformed body, or a disease or an infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfection may be seen prominent in the body of a pure devotee. But despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It's exactly like waters of Ganges. Sometimes, I think this is a Bhakti Shastri question. The water of the Ganges, sometimes you can see during rainy season, they're full of bubbles and foams and mud. But the Ganges water do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Because Ganges is as good as the Lord himself. And Ganges water will purify all our sins. So here it is said, a pure devotee, we should not discriminate a pure devotee seeing his external body. Okay, somebody will be born in a Shudra family. Who was that? A pure devotee in a Shudra family? Or a Chandala family?
Narad Muni.
Narad Muni was a Shudra, very good. Who else? Who else came as Shudra?
Vidura.
Vidura, very good. Vidura was who?
Yamaraj.
Yamaraj, yes. So Yamaraj got cursed to become the son of Shudra, so he came as Vidura. Who else? Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was born in a law-born family. He's Brahma himself. Okay, so can you say that Haridas Thakur is in a low-born family, or can you discriminate him? Or Narad Muni, who came as a Shudra or Vidura? No, they're all Yamaraj, they are Mahajans. So we cannot overlook somebody saying that, oh, he's born in such a low family. Might be some karma. But then that Vaishnava, we should not, Vaishnavera Jati Puti, we should not discriminate the Vaishnava saying that, oh, he's a dark Vaishnava, white Vaishnava, or a low caste. No, nothing like that. That is again aparad. And somebody with a bad complexion, we should not say, oh, that's a black Vaishnava. No, we should not say all that. That is actually bad, not good. And a deformed body or the diseased body. Because in an ordinary vision, we might think that the body of a pure devotee is having lot of defects and the body cannot be polluted. For instance, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, when Guru Maharaj had stroke, so you all, those who are initiated, should see Guru Maharaj's previous videos before he got the stroke. You see how energetic Maharaj was. He has this big kartals. I just showed my son this Guru Maharaj having a nice kirtan before stroke. And then he had this big kartals. And he was making everyone dance and chant the holy name. So after seeing that, he started jumping and he was searching for big kartals. He also wanted that big kartals. I was thinking how Guru Maharaj inspires others and how energetic he was. He was so loving to everyone. And he was so energetically preaching. But when that stroke happened, because Guru Maharaj got this instruction from Srila Prabhupada, personal instruction, that you should have more than 50,000 disciples or more than 1 lakh disciples. And he crossed it anyway. So no other disciple of Srila Prabhupada got this personal instruction that you should have disciples all over the world or so many disciples. No, they have 10,000, 20,000 maximum, but he has the maximum disciples. And Guru Maharaj is very merciful. He don't even see whether he qualified or non-qualified. I felt he was like Mahaprabhu's mercy coming, because Mahaprabhu never saw, like Nityananda Prabhu never saw patra apatra deke na deke, sthana asthan. So he doesn't see whether he qualified or not qualified. He just gave the Krishna Prema, or Guru Maharaj just give you initiation just like that. Always we feel that we are not qualified for initiation. So especially during my second initiation, and I was like, no, I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified. I can't take. And then I was speaking to one senior Vaishnava, and that Vaishnava said, we always feel that we are not qualified. But for Guru service, for Krishna service, we can take this. We take that risk of that we are not qualified, but still we take that risk because Guru is giving you. Your Guru is giving you. Why don't you accept it? Or to do service, you need that thing. So it's Guru's mercy. So I was feeling how Guru Maharaj is so merciful. It was 1.5 years after the lockdown, and Guru Maharaj was just giving online initiation. And I was like, I don't want online. I don't want online initiation. What is it? Just to sit in your house and then you see Guru Maharaj on your laptop and he's like, you initiated. I won't get that feeling. I want personally. I want this thing. And my Prabhu and everybody's like, no, it's not going to happen. It's lockdown, and where will you go to Mayapur and get this initiation? It's like, no, I have that sincere desire. I don't know, Krishna, how you're going to make it happen. If it's online, I'm not taking initiation. Even Amnesty Prabhu is like, what are you saying? If it's online, it's okay. It doesn't matter because it's a pure devotee. Guru Maharaj is a pure devotee, and such new facilities have come that you can use it in Krishna service. It doesn't matter because Guru, the Diksha is just a formal thing. You already initiated when you start following the instructions of the Guru. So he said it doesn't matter. But I felt like, no, I should have personally. Then it was 1.5 years after the Corona, the lockdown, and Guru Maharaj never gave any physical Diksha. So it was Kartik month, and it was in Mayapur Dham, the first yatra to Mayapur, and everybody said you may not get initiated. No, it's not possible because Guru Maharaj never give darshan because of this pandemic, and everyone should wear mask, and we can see Guru Maharaj from that long distance, where he's going to come. So we like, okay, but we finished the interview and everything, and we were sincerely praying, all of us. It was Bahulashtami day, and it was, it was the Bahulashtami day, and it was Kartik month in the Dham Mayapur, and we were in Prabhupada Samadhi Mandir. And we were in the Prabhupada Samadhi Mandir, and we just saw a wheelchair coming. And everybody gathered. Everybody's like, Guru Maharaj is giving the first offline visit after 1.5 years of lockdown. And we were just very close. And the first name was called was mine and my Prabhu's name for initiation. And after 1.5 years, he's giving the first offline initiation. I was like literally crying there. And I was like, I'm not qualified for all this. I don't deserve. But it's, yes, Rameshwar Prabhu's mercy and Guru Maharaj's mercy and Prabhupada's mercy. And I'm telling, he was coming in that wheelchair, and there were like some neophytes, and they were like, see, Guru Maharaj, he's in a wheelchair. So they might have these defects in the body. It says seemingly defects, but a pure devotee is never polluted, in the sense he is not having his karma. This diseases come because of our karma. Purva janma kritam papam vyadhi rupena jayate. But Guru Maharaj took the karma of ours. We are so sinful that during your initiation, Guru takes away all your bad karma, all good or bad, all karmas, and he nullifies it. So when our bad karma goes to the Guru's body, you should have a living Guru, and the Guru's body might reciprocate in such a way. And it is also said, it's Guru Maharaj's special mercy or pastime to give service to other brahmacharis. If Guru Maharaj was not in the wheelchair, there may not be 10 brahmacharis serving him. He will be free, and they won't get service. To give them service, Guru Maharaj did this pastime. Or he said, because you can see him, there was just a video, no? Somebody asked Guru Maharaj, are you happy? He's like, I'm really happy because I'm in Krishna consciousness. And he said, my body will be like this. I had a stroke, I had a liver and a kidney transplant, I'm fighting with skin cancer. But all that is because of our sin. Because he gave initiation to so many people, and many are not following the four relative principles and all that. Guru is taking that karma. So we should not make our Guru suffer. We should be very careful when we accept a Guru. So it's very, very important. So it seemingly defects the body of the Guru, but it's not his karma. He's actually taking the karma of the disciples. Like when Srila Prabhupada's DT was installed, before Prabhupada left the world, the DT was installed, small DTs and big DTs. And Prabhupada was very sick, and one devotee took a flight and came to meet Prabhupada. Prabhupada, I want to say something emergency. And Prabhupada's like, what is it? So that devotee said, Prabhupada, before you leave, the DT should not be installed. They can worship your photo. That's why we don't see the DTs of our Guru Maharaj anywhere, because it's the photo should be supposed to worship. You can't worship the DT as such when the Guru is living in the material body. And Prabhupada told, yes, I know. And no, somebody asked, what is the reason? So that devotee said, no, if there is the DT of the Guru before the Guru left the world, then that Guru will take all the bad karmas of the devotees, of the disciples. And the Guru has to undergo the suffering. So Prabhupada said, I know. That's why I came. I came so that I take away all your sinful activities, and so that you are all eligible to go back to Godhead. And that's Prabhupada's mercy. So Prabhupada said, I came to take away all your sinful activities. So the body of the pure devotee might be defective. But then even the last moment when he was about to leave the body, still he was translating Srimad Bhagavatam. What consciousness level that is, no? Because at the time of death, you don't even remember your own name, or you don't remember anybody around you. And there's so many things happening. Papa was so relaxed and his consciousness was so clear. He knew what he's translating, and he translated Srimad Bhagavatam in the Dham, in the month of Kartik, and around with devotees, he left, went back to Godhead. But so this what? So we should not never criticize a pure devotee seeing the defects in the body of a pure devotee. It's like Ganges. Ganges is never polluted. You can't say, oh, Ganges is fully polluted, I can't take bath. No, Ganges is always pure. Okay. So here it is said, yes, Dikshit Prabhu.
I hope Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj was also
Yeah.
having some sort of physical defect, Mataji.
Yeah, he was like bent. Jagannath Das Babaji lived for a long time and he was bent and he was having a kind of a hunchback and his eyes were like drooping. He couldn't, somebody should open the eyes to see. And he was carried in a basket. A disciple used to carry him in a basket. So people used to criticize about Jagannath Das Babaji, but he was a great Shuddha Vaishnava. He's a pure devotee. And that's why when he was taken in the basket to Yoga Peeth, where Mahaprabhu's appearance happened, that place, and your birthplace, and was that Bhaktivinoda Thakur was there. And Jagannath Das Babaji, when he reached there, he jumped out of that basket and started jumping. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. This is Mahaprabhu's birthplace. So we should never criticize a devotee through his bodily features. A devotee is a devotee. Yes, Sri Lalita Mataji.
Mataji, was it also Jagannath Das Babaji and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji both had some physical
Gaur
issues?
Kishore Das Babaji was also little, but Gaur Kishore Das Babaji was more illiterate. He was illiterate and people used to mock at him for this illiteracy. But yes, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji was also having little defects. Not much, but it was Jagannath Das Babaji who had this. Okay. So here it is said that Kanishta cannot distinguish who's a devotee, who's a non-devotee. Because he is concerned with the worshipping of the deity. But a Madhyama Adhikari can distinguish who's a devotee and as a non-devotee, as well as between the Lord and the devotee. So he treats the Supreme Lord, the devotee and non-devotee in different ways. So we should not criticize the bodily defects of a pure devotee. Why I said this is, some people, when Guru Maharaj went in front of, I think Radha Madhava or something, and he was doing Arati, and there were like tears coming in his eyes. And a neophyte devotee was saying, see, look, he is crying because of his bodily condition. No, he is not crying because of that. Then another senior Vaishnavi, she corrected her, saying that Maharaj is crying in front of Krishna. A pure devotee is having this Ashta Sattvika Vihar of tears coming in his eyes because he's grateful to the Lord, because he's thanking the Lord, or because he's feeling that intense separation from the Lord. This is one of the symptoms in a bhava stage. He is not crying because of his material things. He is not in this material platform. He is having spiritual consciousness, or his body is completely spiritual, a pure devotee. So we should say that if there are some defects, they should be overlooked. What should be taken into account is the spiritual master's main business. Because even though in that condition, how much Guru Maharaj is traveling, how much is he preaching? If we were in that position, we will not able to even do anything. So this is what their body is not just material, it is completely spiritual. And he proved he's not the body, his spirit, soul. So even if it is said that a devotee is engaged in some abnormal activities, he should be still considered sadhu, because sadhu reva samantavya, he's like a Goswami. Okay. Goswami means somebody who can control the senses, but we have become bodhas, in the sense we become the servant of our senses. Okay, I think we can stop with this. You can read all this. Okay, here it comes. When you criticize a pure devotee, it becomes Vaishnava Aparadha. That will be very obstructive and dangerous for your Krishna consciousness. This is Hati Mata. Okay, is it given? So Hati Mata, there is a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita about Hati Mata, mad elephant of so I think that comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. Can you all see? Yeah. Madhya Leela chapter 19 verse 156, it says, Yadi Vaishnava aparate ute hati mata upade va chinte tara sukiyaya papa. That means Vaishnava aparat. If a devotee commits an offense at the feet of a Vaishnava while cultivating the creeper of devotional service, then his offense is compared to a mad elephant that uproots the creeper and breaks it. Okay, so devotional service is actually compared to a Bhakti Lata beach. Is that, yeah, Bhakti Lata. Here it is said. So when you have a nice garden and you have a fence and all that, but then what happens? This this mad elephant comes. It's not just an elephant, it's a mad elephant. It comes and uproots your Bhakti Lata beach and breaks it. tasks. So that's why offense is very important. So we have to take care of it. So especially Guru Aparad, offense against the Guru. And Bhaktilada page will dry up. So so when Mahaprabhu compares this Bhakti into Bhaktilada beach, deeper, he says about all that thing. What is and all that. Okay, might be in some other verse it is mentioned about all that. Okay, Hare Krishna. I think from next verse I have these slides. This verse slides were not there. So 7 to 11, we will complete it next week. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. When did I give the date for exam? December
8th.
8th, Mataji.
Yeah, so next class I'll complete NOI. And 8th we can have the exam. Okay. Attendance. Anybody has
Mataji, and what about sloka recitation? We'll have it the consequent week, is it?
Yeah, the next week. That is 15th. December 15th.
Okay, Mataji.
Rattangi Mataji, are you in touch with Nutan Mataji? No.
Nivedita?
Nivedita Mataji?
I'll send message to her, Mataji.
Yeah, she sends to me, but so what happens is I'm not able to open the WhatsApp at this time because of service and everything. So you asked her to send it to you, okay, every week. And you
Okay.
can post it. Yeah, I forget it. Okay. So this
Okay.
today I'll take a screenshot so that I can mark your attendance. Always please come in your initiated name. Okay. We'll yeah, we have like Vidya Shruti Devidasi Madhusri, Lalita Madhusri, Havati Mataji. Then we have Nityangi Mataji and Suresh Prabhu, Rattangi Mataji, and Achita Keshav Prabhu. And so, yeah, all of them are like initiated devotees because your spelling also very important when you type, especially in the Google Forms, because that certificate, Bhakti Shastri, it's very important when you take Brahmanic. Others also, it's okay, it's in the Karmi name, because anyway, because you get the Bhakti Shastri certificate before, it doesn't matter. But for Bhakti Vaibhav, when you go to Bhakti Vaibhav, after this, eligibility criteria, I can admit all of you, but then to send your certification for your marks to Mayapur Institute, you should have your initiated name. Because Bhakti Vaibhav, the minimum criteria is to take initiation before the course. Or it is said during the course, like it takes at least 3 years, the first 6 cantos. And during the course, at least, at the end of the course, you should have taken initiation to get the certificate. In Bhakti Vaibhav, I'm saying, not Bhakti Shastri, okay? So after this, I'll post the link where you can, 2 Bhakti Vaibhav batches are running. Along with that, we can include you. Because it's a small batch, we can cover up other chapters for you later. But
Mataji, that timing is what? What is that timing, Mataji, which are taking Bhakti?
One is Thursday, 7:30, and the other one is Friday, 30.
Same
Thursdays
time.
and Fridays. 7:30 or 8 p.m. I'm free only that time. I'm not free other times.
And Mataji, Bhakti Swavambhu, that will take how many years?
Yeah, that will take more time, but because Bhakti Vaibhav and Bhakti Sarvabhauma, so and Bhakti Vedanta, so that will take again 4 years. So
Bhakti Vedanta, how many years?
I don't know the years, Mataji, because Bhakti Vedanta, it's like Chaitanya Charitamrita study. So I don't know how many years it will take, the course. Because nobody have done that course, so I have not heard about that course much. Very rarely devotees do that. But Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, everyone do.
Mataji, Bhakti Shastri, we will finish before March?
Yeah, I'm trying, I'm planning. That's why I'm pushing you fast so that December we have finished NOI. Then Jan, I can finish. I can start Isho. Isho finish it by, might be December 22nd. And then 29, 5, 12, yeah. Feb, March, we can finish.
March, maybe Guru Maharaj will come to South.
Yeah, yes.
And we can get the certificate. Yes, Mataji?
He will come here also, March, because we have installation of Mahaprabhu remaining. Prana Pradishta and all. So Guru Maharaj might come here. We are making his room and lift and all getting ready.
So we can get the certificate from Guru Maharaj's hands if we
We'll
finish
see.
for that.
Krishna willing. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, 20th was my birthday and Guru Maharaj sent me letter, email.
Oh, very well.
And in that one sentence, I want to share with everybody. I am sending my blessings for your birthday. Krishna Mathur Astu. May this be your last birth in the material world. I pray for you regularly in front of the deities. You are my dear daughter Ratnangi Hariprada Devidasi. Would like to see that you always practice Krishna consciousness your whole life and go back to Godhead, Mataji.
Very well.
After reading that sentence, Mataji, seriously, like you want to move much more forward in your spiritual services, Mataji.
Yes, very nice. So Guru Maharaj sends that. So I think whoever's initiated also, we also keep getting. They have your biodata, they have the database that like which is your birth, date of birth and all that, and they send. And this blessing, this always Guru Maharaj says that let this be your last birth.
Yes.
I feel like what? So Guru Maharaj says that we are not qualified for that, but then this is what the Guru says. Okay.
But it inspires you, Mataji, and
Yes, definitely.
And in his the app, what he sends, no, like late night, he's reading every day 10, 14, 50 pages of Chaitanya. So, means, it's all an inspiration. We are not doing anything compared to that.
Guru Maharaj studies slokas also. When he was doing his Bhakti Vaibhav, he used to study his slokas, he used to read Bhagavatam. So, so much he's doing. So, it should be a great inspiration. And Guru Maharaj, especially like Mataji is doing courses. I still remember when Guru Maharaj came and Amrish was like, she's taking Bhakti Shastri classes every day and this. And Guru Maharaj asked, are you doing Bhakti Vaibhav? I was like, yes, I'm doing. And with that blessing stick, he started hitting my head and gave blessings and more and more. And Guru Maharaj said, yes, Mataji should study Shastras and preach. He likes when Matajis take up Mahaprabhu's preaching mission and cult. And he's very, very happy. We are very fortunate to have him. We don't know what we have done in previous lives, but those others also should take that inspiration. Okay.
And I saw your photos, Mataji, when you went to Mayapur and got the initiation, y'all, Mangalam Mataji and all of y'all, no? So those photos also was shared. We saw that also.
Mataji, which was this year when you got initiated?
2020, 2021. Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, Krishna, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Mataji.
Pranam.
Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji, will you be sharing the NOI open book question?
I'll share. Ratnani Mataji just
remind.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, one second.
Thank you, Mataji.